Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino here, and we are live tonight after episode number 11 of Survivor Edge of Extinction here on a Fan Cred, and I am thrilled to be back together with pretty much my best friend at this point that I hang out with now every week. Here is the Purple Pants Badass, the songwriter and singer of "What You Looking For," the great Brice Izyah. Brice, how are you?
I'm better now, Robert. 2 weeks in a row. I mean,
it's gonna be 3.
Listen, and on the third week, Nicole gonna have to sign up for Sister Wives, okay? Because
okay, all right. Well, so let me just set this up here, Brice, and then we'll want to hear what you have to say about this Survivor episode. But here we are. We're on Fan Cred, and what that means is that people can call in and they can talk to us, have questions for Brice or myself or about Survivor. You can go ahead and push the red button to activate the fan line, and then you will be on talking live with Brice and myself here right after the episode. It is almost 10:20 on the East Coast here on another busy Survivor night. Brice, what did you think about this episode? Were you sad to see War Dog go home?
Oh, Jesus, say a prayer. Yes, I really was like surprised. For some reason, I thought it was going to be Mr. Clark. I just really felt like, I don't know, maybe I was reading into the edit a little bit, but like I thought like just how Mr. Clark was being so demanding Diva Clark tonight. But I really thought Diva Clark was going home, but just because of just how everything. So I was kind of surprised the War Dog went home.
I like that you call him Mr. Clark, like you're one of his students.
Yes, it's actually from the
movie?
The movie.
Oh, you watched the movie?
Yeah. Mr. Clark.
All right, here's David is on the line to talk to Brice and I here on Fan Cred tonight live. Okay, let's talk to David. Yes.
Come on, God.
Come on, God.
Come
All right,
on,
so
God.
so I have a quick question for you guys. Who do you think is, after this vote, positioned the best?
Brice, who's in the best spot now?
So listen, and call me Miss Cleo, because Gavin, like I'm just like, I am amazed at how his hands are so clean after how far we are in the game. Like he's still the person with like the least edit, the least like that nobody hates him. So it's like, call me Miss Cleo, because I'm saying Gavin.
What about you, Rob?
Yeah, do you feel like that because Gavin doesn't have an edit? Do you feel like that that's counting him out?
So what I'm saying about Gavin is that, like, you know, I didn't been on Indeed.com, and Gavin has made some moves and has some pretty tight alliances. And so like the fact that like his name is not coming up at all, the fact that like he's still a player in like kind of voting with the majority blocks, to me it's like, whoa.
Yeah. That I feel like I like where Julie is after this episode tonight. I feel like that she's the person that she has the connection to Ron. She has the connection to Lauren. I think that she at least has a relationship with Devin. So I kind of like where Julie is after all this.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Right. Thanks a lot, David. Okay.
Bye, David.
Brice, that's how it works. Boom.
Oh,
okay.
That's quick and easy.
That was quick and easy. So, all right, we want to try to get to as many people as we can. A lot of people want to talk to Brice here. Don't have the opportunity. People who couldn't get out to Philly last week to see you. Were you exhausted this week after the big event?
Oh my God, Robert! I don't know how you do it, because unfortunately I had to leave the after party of like the Noah Oz early. I was not feeling well. Like I didn't get enough sleep. I didn't eat properly. Like I was like too much invested in it. So like, yeah, I had an amazing time, but I have to give you All hail.
Well, I
to
have
the
to prepare
king.
for it. I have to like pace myself of not get too crazy on these things. All right, so if you want to call in, just push the red button for the fan line, and then you'll talk to Laura, our producer, and then she will get you on. Make sure you have a good connection and that you're ready to go. Are you a War Dog fan, Brice?
So, despite what I tell War Dog on a daily basis, I am a War Dog fan not only because he'll cuss me out for that, but
yes,
I am a War Dog fan because he seems to be out there playing a game for himself and kind of like a game that nobody else out there is playing. So I have to respect it. And I am a member of the best season ever, Kagiyan. And I would have to say that, like, you know, he definitely is, like, in my mind, paying homage to King Tony. So I definitely see similarities in those two. So I have to say I'm on the War Dog train. Like, I gotta put a collar around my neck and call me Brice Dog because I really do like War Dog.
This was the question that came up on the know-it-alls tonight of how did War Dog screw this up? What would Tony have done after voting out Kelly Wentworth?
So and it's funny because I just had this conversation with Wendell tonight. Like, so I think a lot of what Tony's downfalls was that he was so paranoid and like could not trust. And so I think maybe with War Dog, I feel like it was like the exact opposite. I felt like he felt almost as if he was in control a little bit and kind of was like ordering people around, as opposed to like with Tony, I felt like from my season, he wasn't so much ordering people around. He was just letting his anxiety get the best of him. And I think that there's a difference that people can kind of recognize. So I feel like that was the little bit of the difference. And I kind of felt like War Dog was getting a little comfortable, and I felt like War Dog was kind of like, you know, kind of like, this is what we going, like, you know, he was talking at people and not talking to people.
Okay. I got to note that the fan line is a black button on the app in the upper right-hand corner. That I was told it was I have a red button before. Black button. There you go. Yeah. Tony, whenever he would make a swing in your season, though, Brice, it would be like he would vote against his alliance, and then he would come back and vote with his alliance on the next vote. Like he would swing, but then he would swing back, and then it didn't seem like that's what War Dog tried to do in this episode. Like he voted with one group to vote out Kelly, and then tried to vote with a different group to vote out Aurora.
Agreed, and I feel like that again. It's what the War Dog wanted. He wasn't taking counsel from his hands. He wasn't like, you know, he was sitting on that iron throne and not really taking the counsel well. So, like, yeah, completely kind of agree with that a little with you.
Okay. What else from tonight's episode were you thinking when you were watching?
Aurora. The crowd is roaring for Aurora. Like, I don't know. Maybe she's right. We weren't cheering enough for her because she's killing it in these challenges. And to me, it's kind of like an eye opener. Like, girl, you is out here doing your thing. And she's another person that I put my eye open on for her because she really is kind of like, I don't know whether or not she can gather the votes, but to me, she's somebody that I feel like needs to be on the target block. Well, she was, but the fact that she's making it through, I had to tip my hat off to Aurora, or, you know, I had to tip my cup up.
Oh, you have the International Delight coffee cup? More creamer, please, it says. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
but yeah, Aurora really kind of surprised. Like, tonight, I kind of got on the Aurora train.
I thought you were already on it.
I mean, I wasn't really on it.
You're a passenger.
I was on the plane of Rick Devens and we landed. And so it was like, do I take the bus or the train? And when the Aurora train pulled up to the stop, toot, I had to get on.
Yeah. Why are you done with Rick Devens?
So, I mean, I'm not done with Rick Devens, but, you know, his plane landed and now he's kind of in the mix of figuring out where he belongs. So I don't know necessarily if he's still piloting the plane, but there's other modes of transportation taking off. And the Aurora train pulled up. right behind the Mr. Clark bike. So I just kind of was like, let me get on the Aurora train tonight.
Yeah. Do you think that Rick Devens is done? Do you think that he's dead in the water here?
No, I don't. And what I think about Rick, and what I was talking with some other Survivor players about, that I don't know if y'all talking about this on Rap, but what I thought about, bear with me, is that the Edge of Extinction people, like, I'm like, wait a minute, if they're the jury, listen to me, I'm preaching now like a preacher.
Yeah.
If they're the jury,
I'm here for it. Yeah.
And one of them who was on the island is then in the top, goes up for church. Can I get a church? If they are in the final two, like, the people on Edge of Extinction, they have got the most bonds with them, like the most connections. They're going to want to vote for somebody that was on Edge of Extinction. So I still feel like Ricky, if he can pull it out, which so far this season, he's been surprising me the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like, he really can do something. So I know I'm on the train to another landing port. So I might get in another plane.
Yeah. I just want to take a moment and call out the people that are watching the show. And why don't you hit, what are you guys, shy? Why don't you hit that button to get on the fan line and call in? When are you going to have another chance to talk to the Purple Pants Badass and ask Brice a question? What you looking for, people? It's right. He's right here. He's right here. Click on that button, black button on the app. To call in. We won't be mean to you. This isn't like Stephen Fishback is here where he's going to make fun of you if you ask a dumb question. We'll be very patient with you. All right? So go ahead, click the fan line, get on here. All right? Okay. Brice, then let's Lauren. She came into her own. Do you feel like that Lauren could potentially, now that your girl Kelly is out of the game, do you think that she could potentially start to be on an upward rise?
No. So I love Lauren, never met her personally, but I just feel like where we're at in the game, it's a little too late for you to be wanting to pull the moves out now. Like, I just feel like you've been like, I don't want to be mean, but I just feel like you've been riding.
Hey, look, we're not this is you're just among friends here on the Fan Cred app.
You're right. So I just feel like, you've done a little too late. Like, I just feel like I won't call her GOAT, but I definitely get GOAT-esque vibes from her. And I just feel like, you didn't make, and so I don't know. Again, I say it every time I'm with you. I didn't make the merge, so I don't know what it's like. But what I can say is that I don't feel like you've been doing enough to build what I, as a fan, would say is like a winner's edit. So that's just kind of like how I feel with Lauren. And now it's like, now you're just doing whatever you can do to survive because all your people are gone.
Okay. Shelby is on the line. Let's go ahead and patch her in. Also, Katie wants to know, can she call in and ask you a question about Real Housewives, Brice?
Oh, of course.
Okay. So Katie, you can call Brice. We'll answer your question. All right. Here's Shelby. Shelby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Great. Shelby, where are you calling from?
I am in Kentucky.
Okay, ooh. Shelby in Kentucky. Do you know Nick Wilson?
No, sadly, I'm on the other side, the stupid side. So.
Stupid side. Okay. All right, what do you want to talk about?
All right, so something that has been bugging me, and I don't know if it's been confirmed or anything, but let's say like Aubrey or Kelly like come back in after the Edge of Extinction. Do they still have their idol because nobody else has found idols? Or is it just out in the abyss? Like, what's going on with all that?
So from what I understand, Brice, is that their idols, they don't work anymore, so that they don't count as a real idol. But I guess the question that I don't know is that can they use those idols as a fake idol now?
Yeah, and do they still have the parchment? Like, can they be like, oh, look, it's real? Oh, like.
What do you think, Brice?
I would imagine how the game's been going these last couple of seasons that they probably still do have the parchment, and they probably, if it's in their bag and they have it with them on the island, why wouldn't it come back with them so they can use it to be sneaky?
Yeah.
And can I get a refresher? What advantage did Ron get at the beginning of the game? Because I completely forgot.
But it was in the previews for next week. So Ron on the boat at the start of the season got an advantage menu where he could pick out one of 3 things for the first 3 votes of the season. He never used them because Kama ended up winning all the immunities. But it looks like now that it's expired, then Ron, it looks like next week is going to be pawning that off on Devins. Brice, that's sort of like a International Delight expired coupon.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
I would say that your comma subtle jokes are so underrated, and they highlight my days. Like, oh my goodness.
I love comma.
I love comma.
I love creamer. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that was great.
Okay.
Woo.
Well, Shelby, really nice to get to talk to you.
Well, thank you, and thanks for all your content. I listen all the time. So.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and all the best.
All right.
Okay. There you go. Shelby in Kentucky.
Come on, Kentucky.
I love Come On God. Yeah. I really do like Mr. Clark as a character.
Listen, that he is the character that I would have been on the show.
Ron Clark was going to be you?
I mean, I felt like I see essences of me in Mr. Ron Clark. I'd be a little more spicier, but I definitely I have to 100% hands down respect his gameplay and how far he's made, and by his personality with his dance moves being strategic. So I have to hands up for Mr. Clark. I have to respect it.
Alberto is on the line. Let's go ahead and bring in Alberto on the fan line. So you see, now people were shy, and now it's going to be that. Then we're not going to get to everybody. Okay, Alberto.
Hey, how
are you?
I mean, I was supposed to be doing a final essay, but I got bored. So.
Yeah, forget final essay. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to talk to Brice.
It's the only opportunity to talk to Brice.
Yes. Okay. Well, where are you calling from, Alberto?
Miami.
Okay. What's up?
I wanted to ask Brice about Wardog and Rick in the Mud Challenge. Where they were...
Oh, yeah.
Chile. I mean, it was an episode that I didn't get to see Underwood. So I take a mud bath from the War Dog and Rick Evans. I was here for Rick Evans' eye roll with the back massage.
Yeah. Wow. He said, now I know what heaven is like, that I got a massage from War Dog. I got to put mud on War Dog.
Listen, I just feel like they are campaigning for this freakiest freak. Like, it's just so hard.
Next week, we'll find out.
Oh, my God.
The votes are still coming in. There's a horse race.
Are coming in. Well, the horse race is done.
Yeah. Okay. So War Dog and Rick Evans making a late push for a reality star Amazing Race. Yeah. Alberto, anything else going
on? Who do you think? Does Rick have a chance to win? Or does he have to win out? Does he have to go on a Mike Holloway type run in order to get to the end?
What do you think, Brice?
I think Rick has a really good shot at if he can maneuver these next 2 weeks. I think Rick Evans. Wait, is it Evans or Devins?
Devins.
It's Devins. I always say Evans. I don't know why, but so I think Rick Evans.
And he's one of your biggest fans.
I mean, he is. I know. I just, I get a little tongue tied sometimes, Robert. But no, so Rick Devins, seriously, in my opinion, he surprised me this whole season. So I would expect nothing less than for him to continue to surprise me. So I feel like if he can make it through the next 2 votes, then listen, we going up in a private jet.
Okay. All right. We'll go down and see Alberto in Miami.
Listen, I'm in Alberto.
Okay. Alberto, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Take care. Bye. Okay, yeah, that was a funny scene with on the reward with
Rick Evans was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh.
And that was, maybe a final homage to Tony, because that was the one challenge that Tony won in Cagayan, where he put all the mud on his bald head so he could run. And he won the pizza that he got ate through his nose.
That's funny. I was like, wait, this is giving me Cagayan. Like, why do I remember it? But I was like, I wasn't there, so I
yes.
Why would I remember?
Did you feel bad for Kelly when she was getting yelled at by Reem?
But why, when I was watching the episode, I heard Reem in your voice though,
like. Dude, I've been waiting for this. Like, every week I watch the show, and I'm like, why don't they vote out Kelly Wentworth already? And I'm like, finally, they finally did. And like, you're gonna come here and cry? You're on the edge of extinction. No crying on the edge of extinction.
Then I was cracking up when she was like, come on, Kelly. It's sunny out there, girl. You're getting red.
Yeah. No, she wants to. She's like a mom. She's going to give it to you. Like, I can't believe they, your room's a mess. I can't believe this. I had to pick up all your clothes and let them dry. Like, come on, get in the house. You're going to get a sunburn. All right. Here's Katie. All right. This Katie is the person that wanted to talk to you about Housewives. Okay. All right. So let's patch Katie through. Wants to ask Brice a question. What do you have in that coffee cup? Is it coffee? Okay.
Brice, hey, Rob.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Okay. Well, I do have one Survivor question before I get to my Real Housewives question for Brice.
Yes.
What do you think Victoria's path to the end looks like?
That's a good question. Because Victoria is still in cahoots with Gavin, right? She's still in cahoots with Julie. She's still in cahoots with Mr. Ron. So I feel like Victoria has another really solid path as well, too. However, I feel like after this episode, a lot of people are going to be exposed, and a lot of people their clothes is coming off, and everybody's going to be naked, and people are going to see the real threat. So I definitely think that Victoria has a shot at winning, but it's going to be a tough one for her just because where she's at in her alliance and with all of the people on the jury that she's kind of put there.
Agreed, Rob.
I don't see a path for her. Like, I could see her getting to the end and not getting any votes and being the person who then people say at the end of the season she should have won. But I don't see it. She's done a great job she's voted right every single time. But I think that when people are going to ask her, well, what did you do? Yeah, you voted right, but it doesn't seem like that the jury is going to necessarily respect that.
So I disagree because I felt like she was super influential with flipping the votes. Now, who's the other girl that we were just talking about with the black hair?
That Lauren.
Lauren. So let me ask you this real quick, Robert, and you. Victoria, we're all on the jury. Victoria or
Lauren.
What's her name again? Lauren. Victoria or Lauren, who y'all voting for?
So I think Lauren would do better with the jury because I think that Kelly is going to be pushing for people to vote for Lauren.
Okay, you.
I think.
Sorry, Brice.
Okay, I'm listening because I don't know why. I just feel like Victoria has been, I guess Lauren has the connections maybe tighter over there, but I just feel like Victoria's been playing a harder game, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, I was voted third out.
I mean, that Victoria is much better TV. She's much better in the confessional, but I think that Lauren, has better connections.
Okay. Yeah. Now, back to Money Can't Buy You class. What we talk about?
Okay. Do you watch New York, Beverly Hills, ATL, all of them?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess I just started watching ATL.
Okay.
I just want to know where you lie with the Nene versus everybody else.
Oh, so this is the thing. Listen. I said what I said, and I'm not changing it. I'm Nene Leakes all day. So here's the thing. Listen. So I feel like Nene Leakes went into that reunion, felt like her back was on the wall. So I felt like her attitude towards the reunion and towards everybody was like a little like, oh. But at the end of the day, I'm Nene Leakes all day. And I do feel like Cynthia and Candy, they was being shady, and we caught it on cake. We caught it on tape. And like Nene said, betrayal. So I'm Team Nene all day. Bloop. We see each other.
Reunion wasn't a great look for her. This was my first season watching it, but I thought she was great up until like the bi-wig party. And then I was like, oh my God, is that Nene? Is that how it really is?
So me too. And then to hear that the producer went to the hospital. But I can't defend her all the way because she is a little crazy. But what I can say is that like I do like Nene is my girl, and so I'm going at the balls to the wall, going rock out with my girl. So that's what I can say. I'm Nene Leakes. Bloop.
Okay. Katie, thank you so much that we get some more people on hold, and want to try to get to as many people as we can. So thank you for the questions.
And watch Potomac, because Potomac is popping.
Where is Potomac? What does that mean?
Potomac is in D.C. It's right outside of D.C. It's a very affluent. Is that the word? Is it affluent or affluent?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I get this stuff wrong. And then Stephen Fishback is like, well, actually, yeah.
Well, I'm going to say affluent because it's more funny to say, but oh my God, yeah, it's amazing.
Okay. Let's talk to Tony with an I, not Tony Vlachos.
Oh, I was about to say Tony.
Oh my God, Brice, it's so good to see you.
You just called me today too. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, I'm so jealous.
Hi.
All right, here's.
Hi, Rob.
How are you,
Hey,
Tony?
Good. I can't believe I got through. So
you got through. Where are you calling from, Tony?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Got with the hoodie on. I see you.
You know, it's bedtime. I have to get up and work tomorrow. So.
What's going on?
Just got watching your Amazing Race, of course.
Oh, don't tell us what happened. I didn't watch it yet.
I won't tell you.
Okay.
I just wanted to get thoughts on Julie. So I'm kind of annoyed at her after her outburst when Julia went home with that tribe, and then she turns around completely. Doesn't freak out at all about not being included in that vote.
Yeah.
I was just completely confused as to what her game plan is. At this point, I think her making it to final three and not getting votes.
So it was a little in and out, but we talk about Julie, right?
Yeah, Julie, and what's her path to the end?
Well, first of all, I don't know if you listened to me on the rap, but Julie, in my opinion, is a Stacey's mom.
Stacey's mom was there.
I know. Oh my God, I was sitting in front of her.
She was fun.
She was amazing, and she's so cute in person, and her sister's cute too.
Mm.
But my issue with Julie is, it's like, girl, what have you really done? Like, I mean, like, besides kind of like being in the right tribe and like being with the right numbers, like, I don't see a path for Julie. And I feel like, but if I were somebody like Devins, Devins or Gavin or Victoria, I would want to work with her, because like, who's going to vote for her? Like, what you say Victoria hasn't done anything. What has Julie really done?
Mm-hmm. But I feel like that if Julie now turns around and votes out Ron Clark, that I really could see there being where now it's the only guys that are left are Gavin and Ron and Devins. But I really feel like that they could say like, hey, there's 4 women, and then Julie could be the person that's like, hey, let's just vote these guys out, and we'll go to the final 4. And I could see Julie being the person to put that together, because she at least got on the same page with Aurora tonight.
True.
So we'll see.
And she didn't freak out about not putting in that vote. I just didn't understand why she's so calm now. But when Julia was home at that trial,
I couldn't believe it.
Ruined everything, and I was so annoyed at her. Maybe it's a personal thing, but
I feel you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right, Tony, thank you so much. Yeah, Brice, I couldn't believe that when she was like, yeah, Ron made a good move. I'm not going to get upset about it, because that's It's like, what?
So, in retrospect, now that like you guys are like bringing that to my attention a little bit more, I mean, that's kind of smart of her. Like, I mean, maybe she's aware of where she's at, and like making a big stink like that is only going to put a target on your back. So why make a big stink like that when you can have Mr. Clark do all the dramatics for you and like put a target even on his back? Even though like I like Julie, but she's just not my winner pick. So
Okay, let's talk to Karen on the fan line. Okay, I'll go ahead and patch in Karen as we're here live with Brice Izyah, recording artist. Oh, Karen from Canada.
Hey.
Okay, Karen, how are you? Karen was in Philadelphia with us last week, Brice.
Yes, I was.
Yes.
What's up?
What's going on? What you looking for?
Looking for some more, what's it called? Southern Pecan.
Pour me up, so pour me up.
Yes.
Yes. Karen, what's going on?
Well, I just finished watching both CBS blue chip shows.
We didn't watch The Amazing Race yet.
I know. I'm not going to say anything. I just have to say I love all the teams. I have a question for both of you. So number one is, who do you think of among the edgers, whose return would be the most impactful on the game? And part two is, who do you hope comes back?
Well, most impactful in the game, I feel like if Reem came back.
Oh my God.
Dude, I've been waiting to get back for 32 days. Yeah.
In the short time that she's there, if she comes back.
But I feel like if she did come back, she's clearly made an impression on all of the people there. So that's either going to hurt her or help her. Now, of course, that's who I feel like will be the most impactful. But who do I want to come back? I think his name starts with a C and the last name starts with a U. And on the scale, it's pretty heavy. So I'm going to say Mr. Underwood. And sadly, I think he gets married in like 3 days.
Yeah, he's getting married this weekend. That's what, yeah.
What about you, Rob? What do you think?
In terms of who could come back and have an impact, I don't know. I kind of feel like that all of these people that are out there, I mean, now that War Dog is gone, I kind of feel like that there's an opening for Kelly, even though I don't know if she's necessarily going to come back. It's almost like the people that were all taken out were people that sort of like had used up their goodwill. Like there really wasn't a person where it was like that they just like got like an idol, like took them out, and like they still have a lot of friends in the game. It's almost like that. Almost everybody that went out like sort of like lost all their friends. I think that maybe Kelly is the person that might still have the most allies in like Lauren and Gavin and maybe Julie. So and then who am I rooting for? I mean, I'd like to see David or Aubrey come back, but. We'll see. I still think that the person that comes back could be somebody that's still in the game now.
Right. That makes
sense.
They
would go out and come right back in?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that would have the least amount of impact on the game because they have the most relationship. So I wonder if like a wild card, if a wild card like Reem or even like Chris or what's the other guy's name? Who I get confused?
Eric.
Sorry. Okay, if Eric comes back, like, what's their role? And does it change the game? Are they just an extra vote or?
And I also feel like it depends, like when do they come back into the game?
I think they'll come back when there's 5 people left. I think they'll come back and make it fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
anyway, I just was food for thought.
We'll see. Who are you hoping for?
I mean, I would for television. I definitely think Reem would be fun.
I think it's a long shot, though.
Yeah, but I would love to see David come back.
Okay. Karen, was there anything that happened in this episode tonight that's got your wand off wheels spinning?
We'll see. I'll have to rewatch if I do plan on doing a wand off. So stay tuned if you're interested. We'll see.
Okay. All right. one of the most talented artists out there on the wand-off circuit right now. Karen from Canada. Karen, thank you so much. Okay. All right.
I appreciate you both. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, boom.
Okay. She's one of the people that was singing the Know It Alls song last week.
Oh, she was in the chorus.
In the choir. The one.
We had a live choir. They came up from the ground too. I was like,
well, Brett LaBelle was supposed to sing the song, but then he had to go to have his amazing race party.
Yeah, and we had a whole choir. They was like on the ground because they was like, get on the ground, stay low. They brought them out. They just jumped. I was like, oh.
Yeah. All right, we got Wade on the line. Let's talk to Wade is here to talk to Brice and I here after another Survivor Wednesday. 3 weeks from tonight is the finale, Brice.
What's up, guys?
Wade, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. What's going
Brice. On? Well, first of all, Brice, I was at Giant Eagle a couple weeks ago. I was on a little mission from my office to buy some coffee creamer. And they were out of the Southern Pecan.
What?
I literally I stared at the freaking creamers for 5 minutes. I didn't know what to do. And
so you didn't get to taste the goodness of the Southern Pecan.
So lame, man. Come on.
Dude. Yeah.
So I have a Survivor question about the Edge of Extinction.
Okay.
So I've noticed ever since the merge, it's been like a little less chaotic or less drama. Where at the beginning of the game, I thought it was like the best part of the season. And I think it's because since they know they're all on the jury, they kind of have to get along with each other. And so they're not really like fighting as much. If they're to do a future Edge of Extinction season, what do you think the producers should do to like create some drama post-merge over there?
If you asking me, don't do an Edge of Extinction.
Yeah, I mean, that's a given. But
yeah,
it is Survivor. They'll probably do it again. You know they'll do it again.
Well, I don't know if they'll do it again.
But if they, season 40 with like the all winner rumors, they're
allegedly
something like
who said that?
Yeah, like that again. You know they're not letting like someone like Tony get voted out second and just be gone for the whole season.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Yeah.
But what I would do if they were to do it again, they probably should have challenges for them to do to like not just these random like Keith and Chris Underwood wrestling matches. Although,
yeah, but I do think that like now that you have like the personalities I think that got voted out in a row were not really people that were like big like conflict personalities, but now Kelly is there with War Dog. War Dog is going to be fighting with everybody. So I think that we sort of like when we had like for whatever reason like Chris really got on Keith's nerves, and it was good when they were fighting. But then after the merge, you had Joe who's like really chill, and then Eric who's chill, and then Julia's not a lot of drama, and David is quiet, and Kelly was just sort of sad. But you have War Dog there. So I think that we're going to see some fighting going on the Edge of Extinction this week.
I hope so.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. And especially like that, Kelly's going to be like, War Dog, why'd you vote me out? He's going to be like, Kelly, you didn't include me in any of the plans. And so I had to make a move. And then it's like, War Dog, you're so annoying.
All season, finally.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You sound like him.
Yeah, I'm getting my War Dog and Tony confused. To get back to War Dog, I just have to do this. This is my way to get back to War Dog. If I start doing Tony, War Dog, I go 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I feel like just start yelling out numbers. I can get back into War Dog. Okay. Wait,
but slightly, I do feel like. Another reason why I feel like Edge of Extinction isn't as exciting is I feel like the more people that get there, the more order and like construction, or not construction, but the more order they have. So it's not like the Wild Wild West anymore. Now they've got like places and like a structure that like doesn't make it as interesting.
Okay. All right. Wade, thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay?
Thanks, guys.
All right. All right. Let's do one more. Let's do one more call if we have one, Brice. How does that sound? Brice has to go to work tomorrow.
As do.
Yes. Okay. He can only drink so much coffee in one night. Unless do we have somebody else on the fan line? If not, then maybe Wade was it. Okay, I'll give it a second if anybody else wants to jump on. But Brice, okay. Well, one more person is going to come on with us. But Brice, thank you again for jumping on and doing this. It's always a thrill for me. We're going to do our big voicemail show next week. Get ready.
Excited.
All right. Here comes AJ.
Hey.
All right. Let's get AJ on the fan line. All right. And okay, bringing on AJ. Here's AJ. AJ, how are you? AJ, where you calling from?
New York.
Okay, AJ in New York. What's going on?
Yeah, really great episode. I had a question about Ron and Devin's path. It seemed like in the preview that Ron was trying to get Devin's a little bit confused by giving him that expired advantage.
Yes.
Do you think that if Ron ends up voting Devin's out next week, that he has a viable path to the end? It seems like they're trying to get all the threats out, and Ron is the next to go if Devins is out. And on the flip side, who do you think Devins should work with and target to stay in the game? And do you think he has to work with Ron in order to make that happen?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
So can I answer?
Yes.
So I think that if Ron gets Devins out, I think that will put an immediate target on his back because it would still be 4 females. So I think that it's important for Ron and I just want to say Evans, but Ron and Evans to kind of like put their pack aside, and they really need to pull in Aurora or a Julie and ensure that they're with them, because it's like if Ron takes out Evans, then like for sure he's next to go, because like clearly we see the girls kind of coming together, and we even see from that preview the girls is being sneaky looking and seeing that clue. So I really feel like the guys need to pull it together, because if not, they're going to be picked off one by one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really don't like where Ron is right now. I feel like that he's really now he's in a corner where I don't see his way out. I know he's feeling really good, like he's the puppet master, but they just keep saying, okay, like, oh, who's the threat? Okay, you're a threat. Even at that tribal council tonight where War Dog talked about how in this last one, you know, me and Ron Clark, we took out Kelly, and Jeff's like, boy, Ron, sounds like you just got thrown under the bus. And he's like, well, guilty as charged, Jeff. Like he was basically like, yeah, I did, I was part of it. I would have been like, not me, was not me. I think that was yeah. I think Victoria did it, not me. So
yeah, I thought Ron should have gotten rid of Aurora and kept the advantage.
Yeah, and very sad for Josh. He really wanted Aurora Dog to be a thing, but no, it's not happening. Okay, AJ, anything else going
on? Yeah, actually, I thought the music at this past tribal was pretty spot on, especially right before they read the final sequence of votes when War Dog was getting out, and then War Dog's comment at the end of tribal, you made the right decision.
Yeah,
crack up.
Yeah, I have to go back and listen for the music.
Awesome.
I thought it was awkward with that, and they were all like laughing. I was like, oh, okay.
All right, AJ, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care. All right. Brice, thank you again for jumping on and letting the fans ask some questions here on Survivor Wednesday.
You know I'm here. I'm just glad they didn't bombard me with the freakiest freak.
No, we got to save that for next week. We'll get into all that and more on the voicemails. The family visit is coming next week. It's all happening. I hope we get a good family visit.
I hope so too.
Last season was very, very all we got was where is Davey, and that's really that's all we got out of the family visit last season.
You is a lie. We got Emily. Are you kidding me?
I guess so. Yeah.
a eel or something.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so funny when then Davey would disappear right after the show. I was like, where's Davey?
Emily. Where is Davey?
I guess so. I guess we got a couple of moments, but
no, we got some moments for sure.
Yeah.
But I just I get so nervous because like I literally get like, I mean, you know, the two big episodes for me and Survivor are the merge. I just love the merge feast because, you know, I never make the merge. So that's something special to me. But in the family episode, like I always I'm just such a, like, I literally like will sit and cry and be like, oh my God, who is this? So I'm so excited to see who's coming on. Patty! You hear me? Patty!
All right, so that's going to be next week. I can't wait. All right. Thanks everybody over at Fan Cred for making this possible, letting us do this and getting to talk to all the listeners. And thank you so much. Brice, where can people follow you on social media and get to hear what you looking for?
Yes, I'm available on Instagram, Twitter, Brice Izyah, BriceIzyah, and my single "What You're Looking For" is available on all major platforms: Tidal, Spotify, Amazon, Google Play, outside of Pookie's trunk on the avenue. So wherever you want to get it, it's available.
I like the way you say Tidal, Spotify. Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody over at Fan Cred for putting this together, and we really appreciate it. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.